The truth of awakening. Signs you are deluded. Welcome back, everyone, to Mind Podcast. This is not just a video. It is an exciting journey toward a deep understanding of an awakened person who has attained complete enlightenment. How do they live? How do they impact us? And more importantly, how can we approach and learn from them? Today, let's explore the spiritual world with the secrets of awakened consciousness and omniscience through this video. In other videos on the vlog channel, I will use simple, everyday language to describe this as plainly as possible. I also want to address the reality of delusion and awakening in today's world so that people can recognize and be cautious. Recently, I've heard many people claim they've achieved spiritual awakening. I'm not clear on their concept of awakening, but according to Buddhist tradition, true awakening requires direct awareness and clear recognition that this awareness is Buddha nature. It's not as simple as reading a few articles or books and then using your intellect and logical thinking to declare yourself awakened. That's just self-deception, and you're passing that deception on to others. The truth is hard to swallow, isn't it? Before genuinely awakening, you are prone to falling into the traps of spiritual illusions, stimulated by desires, like a child craving sweets or being fascinated by supernatural powers, messages, and missions. But if you don't follow a practical process of practice and verification and only rely on theoretical knowledge for awakening, you'll gradually become a mad philosopher, deceiving yourself and others. It's like hearing about the spiciness of chili and affirming that chili is extremely spicy. It's true, but you've never actually tasted it. Those who claim rapid awakening often seek supernatural phenomena. These individuals who claim to have achieved rapid awakening are often fascinated by supernatural and metaphysical phenomena, such as spiritual powers. This self-hypnotizes their consciousness and attracts negative energy particles that attach to their minds and energy fields, creating hallucination. They are akin to those who claim divine ancestry, hearing voices from gods, saints, or the Supreme Being. From there, forces from the astral realm gain more puppets to control and manipulate. Remember that in the 49 years of the Buddha's teachings, he never spoke a single word about this. Those who claim to be awakened without having undergone the journey are merely wanderers on the spiritual path. They are lost in a deep forest of delusions, self-deception, and ignorance. The truth is harsh, but unavoidable. There is no shortcut to awakening, and it cannot be fake. Awakening cannot be attained through reading books or listening to speeches. It must be experienced and verified with both the soul and intellect. Keep in mind that in the astral realm, one of the 6 heavenly realms within the desire realm near us, there exists a rich and diverse society, not unlike that of humans. It contains all kinds of beings, from Buddhas to demons, from nobles to commoners, from those with dark consciences to great thinkers. These realms are also organized with factions that fight for power, and humans, with their unique energies, often become attractive targets. They seek out the superstitious, those polluted by negative energy, to inflate them, whispering in their ears, creating apocalyptic scenarios, cosmic secrets, or messages of awakening, all with the aim of exploiting and absorbing energy from the unfortunate human beings. As for those who proclaim themselves as teachers, reincarnated Buddhas, or descendants of dragons and fairies, they claim to have reached other realms. They spend their days staring at clouds, imagining that they see the image of a Buddha, a dragon, or a phoenix. It's truly an illusion. Take a moment to reflect on the prophecies and ancient sources we've encountered over time. How many times have we heard about the end of the world? And has it ever actually happened? These so-called warnings from the heavens seem inaccurate, possibly delayed by some divine intervention. Even if we witness natural changes and the decay of matter according to the cycle of formation, existence, destruction, and dissolution on this earth, there are still other places where the soul can reincarnate and continue its experiences, right? If you truly understand spirituality and the nature of the soul, you must realize that the soul never dies. So there is no need to fear the end of the world. The soul doesn't need a sacred place to rest, doesn't need to be a descendant of any particular person, and it doesn't need to be a leader of the earth. These are all elaborate schemes from the astral realm. The soul only needs to recognize that it is infinite awareness, interconnected with everything, and everywhere is its home. Doesn't need a galaxy, planet, or heavenly realm. To seek these things is to remain in the cycle of reincarnation. When energy or merit is depleted, there is no need to call upon some heavenly Father or Mother Earth for protection, because the soul itself is both the Father of the sky and the Mother of the earth. So, if anyone comes to you saying you are the child of the heavens, Buddha, or a divine mother, that in a previous life you were a prince or princess in the heavens, or an immortal general exiled from the celestial realm, and that you need to return to fulfill your mission, conquering the east and west, save the world, stay far away from them. Some people who have had their third eye opened may be able to connect with certain realms. This is entirely possible, as it depends on the vibrational frequency you emit, will correspond to a specific connection. But be reminded that these realms also contain beings, much like those on Earth, but differing in material and thought. We often refer to them as the heavens. If you place too much faith in them, you may deceive yourself or be misled by those beings. Sometimes you see sparkling lights. Sometimes you may see sparkling lights, thinking that they are the image of God or Buddha, manifestation of goodness and virtue. But remember, as long as there is light and darkness, as long as there are forms, there is still the potential to be deceived. Even the devil exists in the realms of deformed and free will, and the radiance of the devil can be powerful with all kinds of dazzling auras. People with psychic abilities can communicate through these messages. If fortunate, one can break free from such entanglements and avoid suffering and misfortune. However, if left unchecked for too long, negative energy particles will accumulate, the body will absorb more negativity, positive energy will gradually diminish, and the person may lose control of their behavior, living in the illusion of higher realms, eventually becoming irredeemable. They could become trapped in the cycle of many lifetimes, unable to escape, falling into an evil path, and becoming misled teachers. This is a grave karmic debt. Anyone who has the ability to open their third eye, yin-yang eye, divine eye, heavenly eye, or Buddha eye, is doing so based on their unique vibrational frequency. But if the one with the open third eye does not have right thinking, they will certainly be deceived in the dualistic world where the law of cause and effect still operate. How can you be absolutely certain of the future when cause and effect are still in motion? On the other hand, if you follow the righteous path, living in awareness with clear seeing and knowing, you will always perceive everything as it is, without judgment, evaluation, or spreading it to others. In the grand scheme, any realm with form is still subject to the cycle of birth and death, still part of the impermanent world. You should reflect on whether connecting with such realms benefits your journey of evolution and liberation. Does it bring peace to your inner self? Or is it merely helping you find food and clothing in your daily earthly life? The truth that lays the foundation for liberation and true happiness does not lie in seeking connections with distant realms or mysteries, but resides within your own peaceful and awakened soul. The Buddha discovered profound truths. Why don't we explore and apply the teachings of the Buddha? The Buddha taught, all forms are illusory, meaning anything that has form, defined or conceptualized subjectively, is an illusion, projection of the mind. The Buddha also taught, form is no different from emptiness, and emptiness is no different from form. Here, form refers to an object or phenomenon, while emptiness refers to the nature of interdependent origination and non-self inherent in that object or phenomenon. The Buddha concluded the Diamond Sutra with 4 profound verses. All conditioned phenomena are like a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a shadow, like dew or a flash of lightning, thus should they be regarded. Conditioned phenomena, though they appear to exist, are not real. The Buddha likened them to a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a mirage, or a lightning flash. We, as ordinary beings, are deluded, clinging to conditioned phenomena as if they are real, which keeps us trapped in the cycle of birth and death. The Buddha, out of compassion, offered skillful means to show that conditioned phenomena are subject to arising and ceasing, impermanent, and not real, like an illusion. On the internet, some who claim to be awakened often persuade others that true enlightenment is found in freedom of thought and action, following their own ideas as the essence of awakening and divinity. They encourage people to follow their instincts, even praising actions such as sexuality and love, and promote acting according to one's desires. They believe that the soul comes to earth to experience and must complete all lessons before returning, thus seeking out twin flames or soulmates to complete lessons on love and sexuality, even when they already have a family and children. Freedom of action, they advise, may be true for someone who has genuinely awakened and understood the essence, but it's not applicable to those who only grasp theory without having touched that essence. We must accept the truth that each soul carries its own lessons, and every life we live is a school. However, the search for a twin soul to complete oneself doesn't always yield the desired result. In fact, we can find completeness within ourselves through awakening, understanding, and diligent practice. The important issue is not who or what we connect with, but how we connect with ourselves and the world around us. It's essential to understand that freedom is not the unchecked freedom to act, but the ability to understand and accept responsibility for our action. This is the true path to liberation, awakening, and happiness. We should remember that everything in the universe is constantly changing, and we cannot attempt to grasp or control it. Instead, we should seek to understand and accept the continuous flow of life and find peace within ourselves. Only when we truly understand and accept ourselves can we be genuinely free and happy. For someone who has attained awakening, who has succeeded in distinguishing between awareness and mental states, who has broken free from the control of habitual tendencies, whether they are drawn by desires for love, sexuality, pleasures, money, or even conflicts and anger, they remain unaffected. They stand apart, observing and controlling, allowing them to skillfully navigate these mental states and enjoy them perfectly. Awakening is the shortcut that allows us to transition from passive to active evolution along the path of oneness, without needing to complete any lessons on awakening. The ego, when it takes on the role of a teacher, can be very dangerous. First, it harms the individual, and then it harms those who follow them, their disciples. If one does not hold their own lamp and seek truth from within, the consequences are clear. There will be a price to pay, and the path of evolution will only be prolonged. But that's not something too frightening. The important thing is to distinguish between someone who shares and someone who desires to play the role of a teacher. A person who shares simply awakens what you already have within, without adding or fabricating anything. They don't hold on to people or seek out others to share with. They share naturally, without needing to care for or retain clients. They don't wait around to display their vast knowledge. On the contrary, someone who wants to play the role of a teacher often organizes groups, calls for awakening, teaches about love, helps with charity, and may even ask for contributions or services. It's not the fact that there are costs associated with organized activities that is the issue. I just want to say, be careful of the ego that seeks to be a teacher, as it's a heavy and difficult karma to shake off. However, if you recognize awakening early, you will naturally develop right views and critical thinking. At this point, you can engage in any battle, even those with forces of superstition and deception, and it will be difficult for you to be influenced. You'll also find it easy to break free from them. This is also a method I use to learn and experience. Therefore, be cautious, stay awake, and explore yourself before following anyone else. You are the one who can steer your own life, and you are the one who can achieve awakening on your own. Let's look at those who are on the path of seeking awakening through sudden or gradual enlightenment. Unfortunately, some have strayed into the delusion of theory. Someone may have touched upon the awareness of knowing, meaning they have reached initial awakening. But we must remember that full enlightenment is not just a simple step. The first step is realizing awareness. Most people stop at this stage. The second step is liberation from karma. Karma, which is intertwined with the essence of the soul and connected to the collective karma store, cannot be erased in just a day or two after realizing awareness. We must continue to practice and cultivate, reflecting on oneself until no attachment remains. If we only recognize awareness, but are not patient in our awakening to liberate from karmic forces, we have not yet fully completed the path we are walking. There are also those who have not truly realized awareness or hastily declare themselves enlightened, and equate themselves with being a Buddha upon initial realization. This is a trap we must avoid. The trap of being drawn into the theory of awakening while forgetting the practical path we need to walk on our spiritual journey. In the practice of realizing awareness, we need to clearly understand the three stages: enlightenment, experience, and integration. Enlightenment is the stage where we grasp and learn theoretical knowledge through reading, listening, and receiving guidance. This stage creates faith and sets the direction for our journey. Experience is when we must have a clear personal realization, similar to tasting chili ourselves to know its spiciness. Integration is the stage of diligent practice where we fully immerse ourselves in awareness. At this point, practice is no longer a forced effort, but becomes a natural part of us. However, some may go through the experience stage before enlightenment. Therefore, before continuing the journey, the most important thing is to first realize awareness in the stillness. So how does a truly awakened person manifest? You may not even notice the difference between them before and after awakening. This is because their awakening is not reflected in their external form, but in their soul. Their body remains unchanged. They continue their daily life and live where they have chosen. An awakened person doesn't necessarily have to live in a temple, leave the city to dwell in a forest, eat only vegetarian food, or live in a cave. They don't need to dress like a monk, shave their head, or preach about unconditional love. Of course, they may still do some of these things, but only out of personal preference, not to display their enlightenment. They don't need to showcase their awakening. Because they have found inner freedom, they have awakened their wisdom and reduced the dominance of the mind. In the past, when they became angry, they lost control of themselves in the heat of anger. Now they can still feel anger, but they are aware of it when it arises. As their awakened state becomes stronger, they rarely feel anger anymore. They live a free life, unafraid of being judged by others. Most importantly, they always live in a state of clear awareness, with a soul that is pure, calm, and alert, like someone who has just peacefully awakened in the morning, steady and grounded. Truly awakened person adheres to the literal meanings of the words awakened and aware. They are distinct from those who are deluded or asleep, as they remain fully conscious and live in the present. Since being aware means recognizing their steadiness, those who are always alert are the ones who have become enlightened. Each day, each moment of life is a state of continuous enlightenment, not just a one-time event, but a continuous state of clarity and natural awareness, known as omniscience. This is the manifestation of a Buddha. They live in this state every day, radiating omniscience. Even though they may not openly practice cosmic energy or other forms of cultivation, the atmosphere around them is truly radiant, full of abundant and powerful energy. When you stand close to them, you may naturally feel a profound sensation that brings you to tears, as if they are helping you release your karmic burdens. Without needing to ask or investigate, you will naturally want to share your suffering with them, and their radiant aura, without a single word, will continue to help clear your karma. They save others without having the intention to save. The process of salvation happens naturally. Even if they eat meat, they can still help liberate that living being. When they travel, like the Buddha during his alms round, they are actually helping to release the karmic burdens of sentient beings along their path. Whoever offers them food will be close to them and will naturally experience a release from karmic afflictions. That is the act of bestowing blessings. This is why so many people are drawn to those who have achieved complete enlightenment, because of the sense of peace and comfort they feel when near them. It is the pure energy, the aura of an enlightened being. Being close to them allows you to progress much faster than practicing on your own. This is why, in the Buddha's time, there were so many arahants, right? So what method can help us progress more quickly on the path to liberation? Body practice. Cleanse and resolve the karmic burdens of the body through physical practices. Perform energy breathing techniques to purify and clear the energy channels. Mind practice. Practice kindness. Live fully in a state of mindfulness. Always keep a smile on your face, love yourself, and love all beings. Support practice. Recognize early the awareness of the true Dharma within your soul and contemplate it deeply. I'll pause my sharing on this topic for now. I hope this video has brought you a fresh perspective, a new direction on your spiritual path. I wish that through these first steps, we can continue to go deeper into the heart of Buddhist teachings, and from there find peace and awakening within ourselves. On the spiritual path, there is no final destination, only the continuous journey forward. I sincerely hope you will continue to walk with us on this path. We will explore together, awaken together, and share love together. May we all find happiness and peace in our souls, and become sources of energy and inspiration for those around us.